Hey everyone, it's Bethany from Garden Design, and today I'm going to show you how easy it is to grow tomatoes in a pot. So I garden on a deck. Everything I grow is in containers, and I have had amazing success with tomatoes over the last few years. The first thing you need to know is the type of tomato plant that you're growing, and there are two main types of tomatoes. They're either indeterminate or determinate. Indeterminate just basically means it's going to continue to grow throughout the season. Some tomato plants that are indeterminate can actually get more than 10 feet tall. The other type is determinate, which means it's only going to grow to a certain amount. Those are typically going to be smaller in size. However, I believe that as long as you have a large enough container, you can grow any plant that you want in a container. Now, the plant tag should say what type of tomato you're growing, but if you don't know, then you can also just search for the variety and you should be able to find that information. If you are looking for a plant that stays a little bit more compact, then there are some smaller varieties out on the market. Two of my favorites are Pruning Patio Sunshine and Goodhearted. Now that you know the type of tomato plant you're growing, next is to choose the right container. So it's recommended to use containers that are at least 18 inches for determinate tomatoes and 24 inches for indeterminate tomatoes. Obviously, an indeterminate is going to need a little bit more room to grow. Make sure that your pot has drainage, or you can grow them in grow bags like I am, which are made of a very porous material. I am growing two different tomatoes in my garden. Here I have an indeterminate cherry tomato. It's in a 30-gallon grow bag, so I've also companion planted with a ground cherry and basil. And then over here I have my determinate variety, which is a Roma tomato, which is also in a 30-gallon grow bag and companion planted with more basil. For the planting requirements, you want to make sure that your tomato plants are getting full sun, which means at least 6 to 8 hours of sunshine per day. Tomatoes will also typically need to be watered once a day. Now, this may change a little bit based on your environment, but it's recommended to water at least one time per day in the morning. For your potting medium, make sure that you've selected a good quality potting soil, and then I also like to add in slow release fertilizer, which will help to feed my plants throughout the growing season. If you're growing tomatoes, you are definitely going to want to think about staking. Now, there are some determinate varieties that you can grow without any sort of support, but almost every single indeterminate variety, you're going to need something to control the vines, and that's usually done with either a tomato cage or some sort of trellis system. I'm using tomato cages on both my determinate and my indeterminate tomato that I'm growing. You're also going to want to think about whether or not you need to prune your tomato plants. Now, since determinate varieties are only going to get to a predetermined size, typically you're not doing a lot of pruning on those plants, maybe removing some of the lower branches at the bottom, but other than that, they're pretty maintenance free in terms of pruning. Now, indeterminate varieties, if you want to be able to control their size a little bit, you can go in and again remove the bottom branches, but also remove the suckers. Suckers grow between the main stem and one of the horizontal stems. You can remove these easily by simply pinching them off. By following these steps, you can grow delicious tomatoes in containers in your garden. I know that for me, these are a must-have every summer.